Hello, today you'll be going through level 1 of the badging process for our Bambu Lab A1 3D printers. The A1 produces detailed models at high speeds, all while being very user-friendly for all levels of experience. Let's get started. Let's start by familiarizing ourselves with the parts of the A1. First is the tool head. The tool head houses the heated nozzle and hot end, the extruder parts, the cooling fan, and a pressure sensor. Next is the heat bed. You may also hear this referred to as the print bed. The heat bed heats up to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. This, in combination with the texture of the removable metal plate, allows for models to adhere while printing and easily release after the bed is cooled. The print is produced by the combination of movement of the heat bed and the tool head. The filament spool holder is where the printer filament goes during operation. Filament feeds from the top of the spool into the guide tube, which connects to the top of the tool head. This pushes the filament into the extruder. At the right end of the x-axis is the filament cutter lever. When unloading filament, the printer automatically cuts the filament by moving the tool head to the right side of the x-axis and presses against the lever. This depresses a blade in the tool head, cutting the filament. The tool head will then move back to the home position and the filament will be safe to remove. Over here is the nozzle wiper. At the beginning of each job, the printer will automatically wipe the nozzle against this to clean it of any excess filament that may have extruded. On the front of the printer is a micro SD card slot. The Bambu A1 receives its prints wirelessly, which are then stored on this card. This card should not be removed. The printer has no USB ports. The touchscreen is where you can load and unload filament, pause and stop print jobs, and adjust print speed, and also change the other printer settings. Now that we've gone over the parts of the printer, let me demonstrate how to load and unload filament. On the touchscreen, tap Filament and then Load Filament. On the next screen, the printer will show you the steps it goes through to load the filament, starting with the heating of the nozzle up to 250 degrees Celsius or 482 degrees Fahrenheit. To load filament, mount the spool on the spool holder with the filament coming off the top of the spool. Feed the filament through the guide tube until you hit the top of the tool head and feel resistance. Then push in just a little more. You won't hurt the printer. After the heating has completed, the printer should detect that filament is waiting to be loaded and will emit a double beep. The screen will change to ask you whether the filament is extruding. Tap the button that reads Filament Extruded Continue. Now let's download a model for your first print. There are many sites you can download models from, but the site IdeaSpace uses for badging is thingiverse.com, where all the models are free. There are thousands of models available. If you can think of it, somebody else has probably already modeled it. This knitted cow will be a fun example for this video. The models from Thingiverse usually come in a zip file, so you'll need to decompress them in the Windows File Explorer first. With our model downloaded and decompressed, let's open our slicer software, Bambu Studio. A slicer virtually cuts your 3D model into horizontal layers a fraction of a millimeter thick that the printer can lay down on top of each other to create your desired object. To get started, we'll need to import the model we just downloaded from Thingiverse. Go to the File menu and choose Import. Then import 3MF, STL, STEP, SVG, or OBJ, etc. Find your file and open it. The model will open in a 3D space to the right side of the screen. Now let's go over the interface. On the left side of the screen are a number of options for the printer and the print settings. In the upper left is the printer model. Make sure it is always set to Bambu Lab A1 and not A1 Mini or any other model of Bambu. Below that is the nozzle diameter. It should be set to 0.4. Under Project Filaments, choose Custom, and then finally choose the IdeaSpace Custom Filament option. In the process bar, choose Global so that all objects are being manipulated at once. The drop-down menu below allows you to change the resolution of your print. For most prints, the 0.2 millimeters is plenty, but for more detailed models, set the value to a lower number, like 0.16 or 0.12. The lower the value, the higher the resolution. Higher resolutions will also use more filament. The headers under that menu are Quality, Strength, Support, and Others. You can safely ignore Quality, Strength, and Others as a beginner, but supports may be necessary for models with overhangs, like ears on this cow that have nothing beneath them. The printer needs a surface to print on, so removable supports are generated under overhangs that can easily be snapped off once the print is complete. In the Support section, you will need to click the checkbox next to Enable Supports. Make sure that the type is set to Tree or Auto. Next, let's look at some of the controls in the toolbar above the model itself. The first button allows you to add additional objects to the heat bed. Multiple files may be printed at once, although it is recommended that you not overcrowd the heat bed, as that can lead to print errors. The Add Build plate can be ignored since multiple objects can be printed on the same plate at once. Auto Orient lays objects on a surface that allows for the best print quality. Auto Arrange will lay out your objects automatically. The Move tool allows you to set exact coordinates for where you'd like the model to be placed on the heat bed. You can also click and hold to drag the model around the heat bed. Rotate allows you to rotate your object along the X, Y, and Z axes. The Scale tool will let you adjust the measurements of your model so that it can be bigger or smaller. The rest of these tools can be safely ignored for beginners, but include options like cutting the model into pieces, adding your own custom supports, and adding text to your print. Now that we've gone over all of that, let's slice our model and get it printing. We'll click the Slice Plate button in the upper right corner. The computer will proceed to process the model into the multiple layers that the Bambu will lay down on top of each other. Pay close attention to the total amount of time the print will take. Your print must be finished by the time IdeaSpace next opens to the public. Also, pay close attention to the amount of filament to be used in terms of grams. We highly recommend weighing your spool with the scale at IdeaSpace before the start of every print, so you don't start a job you don't have the filament to finish. Now, let's click Print Plate. A Send Print Job window will appear. Make sure to choose the printer that was assigned to you by library staff from the Printer drop-down menu. At the bottom of the window, you will see three options: Time-Lapse, Flow Dynamics Calibration, and Auto Bed Leveling. Disable Time-Lapse, but enable Flow Dynamics Calibration and Auto Bed Leveling for the best possible quality and a chance at a successful print. The sliced model will be transmitted wirelessly to your printer. After the transmission is complete, the printer will emit a small jingle and your print will be well underway. The printer's estimated time to complete is accurate down to a 2 to 4 minute margin of error. If you pick up your print the same day it completes, please let a library staff member remove it from the heat bed so you don't risk scalding your fingers. This concludes level 1 of the 3D printer badging process. You may now visit librarypoint.org/MakerLab Badges to sign up for level 2, in which you will demonstrate to staff in-person operation of the Bambu Lab 3D printer. We look forward to seeing you.